It all began with a call that no one could have predicted. The kind of story you'd think was made up if it weren't true. A team of rescuers got an early morning alert. A wild Mustang stallion had been spotted in a remote canyon, lying motionless for over 12 hours. Buzzards circled overhead. The horse looked like he was dying, but when they arrived, what they found beneath his massive body changed everything. Subscribe now to hear more stories that will make you believe in miracles. Leave a comment below. Would you risk your life to protect someone who wasn't even your own? It was a crisp October morning when Dr. Maya Hartley and her rescue team from Wild Roots Rescue got the call about a wounded Mustang near Silver Hollow Canyon, 30 miles outside Denver. The hiker's voice crackled through the radio. "There's a stallion down. He hasn't moved in over half a day. I think he's dead." Maya didn't waste time. She grabbed her gear, loaded up the mobile vet unit, and headed out with 2 trusted teammates. Daniel Reyes, a large animal specialist with years of experience working with traumatized horses, and Emily Carter, a young but incredibly gentle veterinary technician who seemed to have a sixth sense for calming frightened animals. They reached the canyon just after sunrise. The landscape was rugged, unforgiving, jagged rocks, loose gravel, steep drops. It wasn't the kind of place you wandered into without knowing the risks. And there he was. The stallion lay still on the rocky ground, his chestnut coat glinting in the morning light. His mane spilled across the dirt like ink, and his powerful frame was curved around something unseen. At first glance, it looked like a tragic scene, a majestic creature brought low by injury or old age. But something didn't feel right. "He's not acting like a dying horse," Daniel murmured, adjusting his binoculars. "He's guarding something." Maya squinted at the stallion's posture. His head was raised, eyes alert, ears twitching as he watched them approach. Every few minutes, he lowered his muzzle toward the ground beneath him, as if checking on whatever was hidden there. "Let's observe before we move in," Maya said, holding up a hand to stop Emily from loading the tranquilizer gun. Minutes passed, then 10, then 20. The stallion didn't budge. He let out a sharp neigh when a raven landed too close, warning the bird away with a fierce stare. "I've never seen this kind of behavior," Maya whispered. "He's injured. Look at the blood on his shoulder. But he's not running. He's staying put. On purpose." Daniel narrowed his eyes. "There's definitely something under him. Small. And it's moving." Maya's heart pounded. In 20 years of wildlife rescue, she'd seen Maras guard their foes. Stallions fight for territory, but nothing like this. "We need to get closer," she decided. Carefully, as they approached, the stallion tensed. His muscles rippled beneath his coat. He was hurt, clearly, but not helpless. This was a protector, a warrior. Maya took the lead, speaking softly, hands visible. "Easy, big guy. We're here to help." The stallion shifted slightly, hiding whatever he was guarding more tightly. Pain flickered across his face as he moved, fresh blood staining his shoulder again. Then Emily gasped, "Look at his leg." Maya followed her gaze. Deep lacerations ran along the stallion's front leg, signs of a fall, or worse. The wounds were infected. If they didn't treat him soon, he might not survive. "He needs medical attention," Daniel said. "Now." But the stallion ignored his pain. His entire focus remained on protecting whatever was beneath him. Maya made a risky decision, against protocol. She stepped forward, slowly, carefully, until she was within 10 feet. The stallion reared slightly, hooves pawing the air. Pain flashed across his face, but he held his ground. And then, for just a second, he lifted his body enough for Maya to see. Her breath caught. She stumbled back. "Oh my God!" "What?" Emily called. Maya couldn't speak. What she saw defied every rule of nature. Beneath the stallion's protective bulk was a baby, not a foal, not another horse. A human infant, wrapped in a pink blanket, tucked safely beneath the stallion's belly. "Marcus!" Maya shouted. "Bring the camera. No one is going to believe this." The stallion settled back into position, concealing the child once more. But Maya had seen enough. "A baby," she whispered. "There's a human baby under that horse." Silence fell over the team. "That's impossible," Daniel muttered. "How would a wild horse end up protecting a child?" But the truth was undeniable. The stallion hadn't been guarding food or territory. He had been protecting a helpless human life. Somewhere, a family was probably searching desperately for their missing child. And here, in the middle of nowhere, a wild stallion had taken on the role of guardian. Maya snapped out of her shock. "Call 911. Get emergency services. Child protection. The sheriff." Emily fumbled with the satellite phone. "How do I explain this?" "Tell them the truth," Maya said grimly. "They'll decide whether to believe it or not." Within the hour, the sky filled with the sound of helicopter rotors. The medical team arrived, along with law enforcement and social workers. But the stallion didn't move. When the helicopter landed nearby, he struggled to his feet despite his injuries, standing tall over the baby to shield her from the wind. Pain racked his body, but he stayed upright, defiant, unyielding. Maya felt tears sting her eyes. He was magnificent. He didn't understand what the helicopter was, but he knew it was a threat, and he wouldn't let anything harm his baby. Time was running out. The stallion was deteriorating fast. Blood loss, infection, and sheer exhaustion were taking their toll. If they didn't act soon, both the stallion and the baby could die. Maya made a bold decision. "I'm going in." Sarah prepared the tranquilizer gun, but only as a last resort. Marcus stood ready with emergency supplies. Maya moved forward with practiced calm. Step by step, she closed the distance between herself and the stallion. His ears swiveled constantly, watching her, watching the others. When she was 15 feet away, he issued another warning, a deep rumble from his chest. But then something changed. He made soft sounds, gentle, soothing, directed downward. Maya froze. "He's talking to the baby," she realized. She dropped to her knees, making herself smaller. The stallion's ears came forward. His posture eased slightly. "You know I'm not here to hurt her, don't you?" Maya whispered. She crept closer. 5 feet. 3. Then the stallion did something no one expected. He lowered himself to the ground, but not completely. He positioned himself so Maya could see the baby clearly while still keeping her safe. Maya's breath caught. There she was, a little girl, maybe 6 months old, wrapped in a dusty pink blanket. Her dark hair peeked out, and tiny fingers clutched the fabric. She was moving, weak but alive. "Hello, sweetheart," Maya whispered. "We're going to get you out of here." The baby turned her wide, serious eyes toward Maya and smiled. Maya felt tears slip down her cheeks. The stallion watched the exchange intensely. Then he made those soft sounds again. Maya understood. He's telling her I'm okay. She reached out, slowly, and the stallion didn't interfere. Her fingers touched the baby's warm skin. "She's alive," Maya called. "Get the medics." As Maya lifted the child into her arms, the stallion tried to rise again. His injured leg buckled, but he followed her step by step, refusing to leave her side. Dr. James Mitchell rushed in and took the baby, immediately beginning treatment. "She's dehydrated," he said, "but her vitals are stronger than expected. This horse, he saved her life." Maya turned back to the stallion. His legs trembled. Adrenaline had kept him upright long enough to ensure the baby was safe. Now it was failing. She knelt beside him. "You did your job," she whispered. "Now let us do ours." Later, the investigation revealed a heartbreaking truth. The baby, named Isabella, had been left behind by her mother, Jessica, who had fled from a dangerous relationship. Desperate and scared, she had driven to the canyon, thinking she was leaving Isabella somewhere safe until she could return. She never imagined how long she'd be gone, or that someone else would find her daughter first. The stallion, later named Thunder by Isabella, had become her unlikely protector. For days, he had kept the baby warm, sheltered her from the cold and rain, and fought off predators with nothing but raw instinct and fierce determination. And somehow, against all odds, he had succeeded. Weeks later, Thunder was recovering. Maya set up a temporary field station in the canyon to care for him, bringing him portable shelters and feed. He accepted treatment, ate well, and allowed Maya and her team to care for him. But he watched the sky constantly, waiting for the helicopter to return with her. 2 weeks after the rescue, Maya got a call from Dr. Mitchell. "Something strange is happening," he said. "Isabella won't calm down unless we play recordings of horse sounds." Maya looked at Thunder, standing silently on the ridge. She bonded with him, she said softly. Over the next few weeks, the story spread across the country. Media crews camped outside the canyon, desperate for a glimpse of the legendary stallion. But for Maya, the real miracle was what happened next. Isabella was struggling in foster care. She cried constantly, refused to eat. So Maya proposed something unthinkable, a reunion, under strict supervision. Isabella was brought back to the canyon. As soon as Thunder heard her cry, he lifted his head and let out a joyous call. Isabella stopped crying instantly. She reached out. He stretched toward her. When she touched his muzzle, Thunder closed his eyes and made the softest sound Maya had ever heard from any animal. For an hour, they stayed like that, Isabella babbling, Thunder responding with gentle nickers. Dr. Mitchell monitored her vitals. "She's thriving," he said in awe. "Her stress levels are dropping. Her heart rate is perfect. It's like she's home." In the end, an unprecedented decision was made. Jessica, having completed rehab and counseling, was given custody of Isabella, and with special permission from the Bureau of Land Management, a small cabin was built in the canyon. Thunder was granted permanent sanctuary. Isabella grew up surrounded by love, from her mother, from Maya, and most of all, from the wild stallion who had chosen to protect her. To this day, they remain inseparable. Moral lesson: love knows no boundaries. Sometimes, the greatest protectors come from the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, hit subscribe for more incredible tales of courage, connection, and the bonds that defy species. Leave a comment. What would you do if you found an animal protecting something precious? And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because sometimes the most extraordinary families are formed not by blood, but by love.